Well, welcome to the Ask Dr. Wilson show. We've got a great show for you today. We are going to be talking about what do you do if you have arthritis? And there's a lot of people who struggle with arthritis right now. And we're going to talk about what to do if you have it and then how to prevent it if you don't. When I talk to people who have arthritis, I always ask them, I say, you got diagnosed with arthritis. What did they say caused your arthritis? Because I want to know the causes of things. Inevitably, I get answers like, it's just old age. I went to my doctor and he told me it was just old age. And I always ask him when I hear that, I say, okay, so they told you, okay, so you got diagnosed with arthritis in your knee, correct? They're like, yeah. They say it's only in your right knee though. They say, yes. I say, now tell me again, what did they say caused it? Well, doc, they said it was old age. I said, okay, if it's in your right knee, not in your left knee though, right? They say, yes. Well, how old's your left knee? Because if it's old age, it should be in both knees equally. If it's old age and you have arthritis in one hip and not the other, guess what? That one hip is the same age as the other hip. It's not due to old age. The reason why you have arthritis, now I'm talking osteoarthritis. I'm not talking rheumatoid. I'm not talking about some of the autoimmune conditions. But the reason why you have arthritis many times, now osteoarthritis, is due to the fact that it's uneven stress and pressure over time. And what happens, it's just like alignment on your car. When your alignment on your car is off, the tires will bald unevenly. And in your spine, there's little discs that are between the bones. And when you wear and tear that day in and day out because of the misaligned spine or imbalanced spine, what will happen is that disc will thin out more thin over time, eventually where it gets to be bone on bone. You hear about that in the knees. You have shock absorbers in your knees, the meniscus. And you hear about that when it comes to your hips, the wearing and tearing unevenly. And yet, what are we told to do about that? It's either age-related or genetic is what we're told. And so we say, hey, just take the drugs and anti-inflammatories and you're going to be fine. No, that uneven stress and pressure over time is what's causing the inflammation. If you don't get to the cause of the problem and correct that, well, you're just asking to be put on NSAIDs for the rest of your life, which then once it gets bad enough, then what is it? We're going to do opioids? And so now we're going to be on opioids what's the solution here? Do opioids until what? Until now it's surgical, now let's go in and replace that knee or replace that hip, or let's go ahead and do a full-on disc surgery where we then fuse your lumbar spine because now you're getting stenosis. You leave that arthritis there long enough, you're asking for stenosis. What does that word mean, stenosis? It means a narrowing of your spinal canal. And so bone adapts to stress. This is not a Dr. Wilson thing. Just Google. I keep saying Google. I'm going to have to change my terminology. Just research, look up, search, use whatever search engine you want, but look at it's called Wolff's Law. Wolff's Law, what does that mean? It's bone adapts to stress. Bone adapts to stress. So what does that mean? It means that uneven stress and pressure over time is going to cause new bone to lay down. You might have been told you have a osteophyte. Well, that's new bone being laid down. Stenosis, new bone being laid down. You show me someone who has stenosis, I'm going to show you someone who's lost the curve in their either lumbar spine or their cervical spine. The underlying cause of stenosis that causes that narrowing, you have to make sure that person has good alignment, good healthy curves in their spine, and you're going to not only prevent that, but that can help to alleviate that pressure and alleviate that stress so that person doesn't have to be on a list of medications or go down that road of surgery. I tell you, so many different patients who've come in, and that blows their mind when you talk to them about that. It also blows their mind when they start getting well and they start recovering from these things. And so, again, that's the reason why we have this show, though, is to educate people. But also, it's not just about education, it's about taking action. This is Dr. Nick Wilson. This is the Ask Dr. Wilson show. Hey, this has been a fun episode, and I hope you enjoyed this. Again, you can get on facebook.com/AskDrWilson. Get on Instagram, follow us there. You can also find us on YouTube, Dr. Nick Wilson on YouTube. Hey, subscribe to those pages and get the information directly to you when you do so. Rate the show if you're listening on the podcast. Again, it's Ask Dr. Wilson. Hey, have a great day. Make it a great rest of your life, and we will see you next time.